Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2024 BMW X3 M40i. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this SUV for me today. Definitely take a look at their website. That link is down below. So this X3 is finished off in Brooklyn Gray Metallic. MSRP is just over $69,000. Now this is powered by the 3-liter twin power turbo inline 6. It's paired to the 48-volt hybrid electric system along with the 8-speed automatic, and it pumps out 382 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the xDrive all-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,400-pound SUV from 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. Top speed is 155 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 17.2 gallons. You'll expect to see around 21 miles per gallon in the city, 26 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.8 inches. Its overall length is 185.9. It has a width of 74.7, a height of 66, and its ground clearance measures in at 7.2 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this X3, let's start off with the Shadowline package that this model has. That provides it with all the gloss black accents that are up front, including the entire kidney grille, where this also has massive cutouts. So there's no grille shutters behind that. You get maximum cooling to that engine. There's also the forward-facing camera and badge on that driver's side. And then there's even more gloss black in the entire lower section, where there's also parking sensors and then even larger inlets to provide additional cooling and better aerodynamics. Now there's also LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals with a nice design for those housings themselves. And then 2 distinctive lines coming down the hood right in the middle, and then 2 that go to the base of the hood there. Now this model also has a set of 21-inch wheels with that 5 double spoke design. There's the M Sport brakes finished off in blue. And then there's more gloss black for the power folding side mirrors, which also feature a camera and a turn signal. Full moonroof up top. All of the roof racks are blacked out, as well as the window trim. And then just some great lines that run down the side. So there's one at the height of the door handles, one in that lower section there, as well as the side skirt. Now up top, there's body color and gloss black for the spoiler. There's the third brake light, along with the wiper blade, LED taillights, which have a nice housing to them. There's the backup camera with all of the parking sensors down in the lower section. And then we have the dual exhaust with gloss black for that diffuser. Now let's take a listen to that exhaust, because this does have remote start. And all you have to do is triple tap on the lock button and then triple tap on it again to shut the vehicle off. Now you can also use the button on the key fob or up underneath for the power liftgate. For the X3, it is solid compared to its bigger version, the X5 and 7, which have that split design. But even with its smaller size, you still have a lot of space. There's also additional storage underneath the floor if you need to utilize that. There's a cargo net on the driver's side, as well as the cover that you can use. There's a hook and a 12-volt on that passenger side. And then you can fold down the back seats to give yourself that much more practicality. So for a smaller SUV, you still have a lot of space. And then you can close that liftgate or lock it as well. You can also lock and unlock all 4 door handles, or with all 4 door handles. So that makes it a lot more convenient. And for this interior, there's carbon fiber, brushed aluminum accents. We have the grab handle and then some storage in that lower section. And then black leather for these seats, which have a nice look to them. You can also recline the back seat. So use that lever there and you'll be able to see the difference here. It's a slight difference, but it makes it a lot more comfortable for this. And at 5'10", I have plenty of space. Now there's storage nets, there's climate vents along with all of your adjustments, some auxiliaries too. And then I have about 3 inches or so above my head. So again, for its smaller size, I'm very comfortable. I could go on a long trip and I don't have any complaints with the back seat. Now, if you pull down the armrest, you have cup holders on the back side there, and you can even fold down this middle seat individually. So if you need to gain access into the back there, you have the option to do that, or give yourself a little bit higher of an armrest. And then we have a lot of glass for the back half of this vehicle. Now looking at the driver door panel, there's the memory seating controls, more carbon fiber. There's a liftgate release, power folding side mirror adjustments, all of the window controls, and then even more storage down below. And then we have the automatic front seats, with the one exception for the leg support, which is manual, so you can adjust that as needed. And then we are greeted with the M Sport steering wheel. It's solid leather with all of the colors stitched within it. Let's fire this back up though and take a listen to that inline 6. And looking at the gauge cluster now, you'll notice fuel on the left side with miles per hour. Right side, there's the tach along with your power percentage, engine temperature, and then there's also some info you can go through within that tach. So simply use the button on the top of the turn signal there, and you can go from this data information to live readouts to horsepower and torque. You can pull up a G-force meter as well as your music. You have the driving mode the vehicle is in, along with what gear, live readout for your MPG, and that is it. Now, if we look at the steering wheel, there's volume and tuning along with your Bluetooth and voice commands, and then you have a shortcut to pull up your audio on the head-up display. It also provides you with your miles per hour and the speed limit sign. Now, this also has brushed aluminum for the paddle shifters, and then your cruise control settings are on that left side. There's also the headlight adjustments with parking lights, storage bin down below. There's more brushed aluminum with one air vent. And then as we look at the infotainment system, pretty easy to go through this. You have shortcuts to get into your media along with your phone. You can get into your navigation. There's also car. Under car, you have a lot more that you can get into. So you have driving information, so you can go through all of this. You have vehicle status that you can monitor all of those vitals. You have various settings that you can also go through to configure all of this the way that you would like to. You have driver profiles, owner's manual, and a little bit more there. And then you also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and some other apps that you can go into. And then on the home screen itself, you do have these additional widgets that you can view as needed. Now, as you just saw, I wasn't using that as a touchscreen the entire time because we have the shortcuts down below. So that way you can quickly go through this and you don't have to use it as a touchscreen system. Now, there's carbon fiber underneath that, even a shortcut to the intelligent safety. So you can go in and configure these as needed, just depending on the sensitivity level that you would like. We have the heated seat adjustments on both sides, along with your climates right in the middle. So fan speed, temperature, where you'd like the air to go, laid out very nicely. Power and volume, all of your tuning and presets are underneath that. And then this even gets wireless charging with a few auxiliaries and cup holders. Now, you can hide that away if you'd like to. And then let's put this into reverse, where this has the backup camera, a few shortcuts on that left side or the right side, and then on the left side you can also go through the 360. So that way you can check out around the entire vehicle, even another top-down view. Now, there's also drive, and then you have the manual setting, so you can shift using that. If you have it in drive, just simply push on the camera button, and that will provide you with the full screen forward-facing camera. Now, there's also traction control, parking sensors, and a few different driving modes that you can put this into. So there's sport, comfort, and eco with a few different settings that you can go through. There's also a downhill assist, auto hold, and the e-brake. And then you have a little bit of storage with some auxiliaries in the armrest and plenty of storage in that glove box. Now, there's garage door buttons up top, dome lights, and the controls for that sunshade and the sunroof. And then look at how much glass there is over both shoulders. It's a small vehicle, but it provides you with a lot of light and a lot of visibility. As we set up now behind the wheel for the X3 M40, this is the first M40 that we have ever filmed for our channel. We do a lot of the X drives and we do a lot of the M competitions. The 40i seems to be something that, at least in our area, is very hard to come by. So it's very cool to be able to check this out and see how it competes, being basically in the middle between the X drives, S drives obviously too, but then the M competition. So let's put it into the Sport Plus mode. I have a lot of experience driving the X3s in general. I own an X5 myself, so it's kind of no different aside from the obvious size difference. But even with this 40i, it's got a healthy amount of power to it. Now, it's not too loud, but we also get the adaptive suspension as well. It's not height adjustable, but it will change with the different driving modes. So when you put it into sport mode, it's going to stiffen up, get a little bit tighter, so that way you can do some performance style driving with this. And it handles well for an SUV. The M Competition is that next step up, so it's going to handle obviously a lot better. But if you're not looking to spend roughly $20,000, $25,000 more, you can get the M40, which is still going to give you that performance drive. Now, just driving it in general, like I just mentioned, I own an X5, so honestly, this is very similar. We have the Harman Kardon audio too, which I forgot to mention. but it's a BMW. It's something that is well refined. They're very comfortable and quiet, so smooth to drive. And it's just something that you can drive every single day. With the refinements that you get, it's what you would expect, of course. And then when you want, you can hear a little bit of that exhaust under a mild acceleration. But I like the sizing of this X3. It is much smaller than my X5, but it's not so much smaller that it's not practical. Obviously, people are buying the X3s, even the X1 and 2, which are a little bit smaller. But I think it's a perfect size, to be honest. It has plenty of room for your backseat passenger, so for its smaller size, it's still practical, it's still usable. And with that smaller footprint, it's going to be a little bit easier to parking lot situations, whatever it may be. It is a little bit more maneuverable with its sizing. So if you're not looking for a big SUV, maybe you're doing a lot of city driving, this is a perfect option to go with. And in sport mode, second gear, here we go. Mild acceleration, sounds good, and we're up to speed. Super quick with the shifts as well. That's what I like about BMWs is, even with this model here, has the performance to it, of course, but it has the performance with these paddles, with how quickly this transmission shifts. It's also very smooth too. So even on the downshifts, you don't really feel the shifts, which is nice for a vehicle like this. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the X3. I am not sure when the update for the X3 is coming. This is a 2024, and there's already other BMW 24-year models that have the newer screen and some of the newer technology. So this could be it. We'll have to wait and see. I believe 25 will be new. But if you're not a fan of that larger screen, this is a great setup with having the dual screen settings there, configuration. And like I said, this is so smooth, so fun to drive. Steering wheel is a good size too, I think. We have some good notches on both sides, so that way you can use the paddles and still have a good grip on the steering wheel. But like I said, it's something that is a BMW, well refined, and just a nice place to be. So if you're looking for a luxury focused sedan, but you also want that increase in power, this is definitely a great option to go with. There are some other options out there that you can get. For example, the SQ5, which I will be doing a comparison with this vehicle. So if you want to see the differences with that specific comparison or head-to-head, check out that separate video. But there's some other options for the SUV market if you're looking for performance. But I think the BMW, I do own one. I'm not trying to be biased towards it because there are great options out there, but I love them. They are very comfortable, very fun to drive, and it's a great place to be. Turning radius is also pretty sharp. Like I mentioned earlier, maneuverability is very easy. Let's do one more acceleration. And we're back up to speed. That is going to wrap it up for the 2024 BMW X3 M40i. Once again, a huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this for me today. Check out their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.